Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Sejanus, his fall, and we get to hear from Varro today in Act 3, Scene 1. So it's a big, long scene, and we are in the court in Rome, and we started off the scene with Sejanus making the arrangements to set up the trial of Silius, which we learn is going to be completely sprung on him. He has no idea that this is coming. And once Silius enters, they're about to accuse him, but then Tiberius came in with this, why do you all look sad? It was my son that just died. And by the way, I would like to welcome Nero and Drusus Jr. into the Senate. Please take them. And oh, woe is me. I'm so tired of being emperor. If only I could retire. But then Sejanus is like, no, Caesar, we can't live without you. So everybody, sort of coerced by Sejanus, repledges their allegiance to Tiberius as emperor. And they're like, okay, this is all well and good. And Tiberius is like, all right, now you can proceed with whatever it was that you were doing. So Afer stands up and he's like, Silius, you are accused of crimes. And Silius is like, what crimes? Am I too smart? Did I earn too much money while I was doing things? He's like, I've never done anything wrong. I don't know what you're talking about. Who is accusing me? And Varro stands up and says, 'Tis I accuse thee, Silius. Against the majesty of Rome and Caesar, I do pronounce thee here a guilty cause. First, of beginning and occasioning. Next, drawing out the war in Gallia, for which thou late triumphst. Dissembling long that Sacrovir to be an enemy, only to make thy entertainment more. Whilst thou and thy wife Socia pulled the province, wherein with sordid, base desire of gain, thou hast discredited thy actions' worth and been a traitor to the state. So the charges that they are levying against Silius are that while he was off being this war hero, which he has been recognized as being a war hero for quite some time, they're like, actually, you kind of started all that and you made it last a lot longer than it had to so that you could make money while you were there. They're like, you were extorting money from Rome and from Caesar while you were off fighting a war. So we accuse you of extortion and treason. You're a traitor to the state for what you did. And Silius is like, you're a liar. I didn't do any of that. And Varro goes on to say, sort of not really paying attention to that, the same way that we haven't really been paying attention to the peanut gallery, but they do keep having little asides and interjections through this whole thing where they're like, oh, careful, Silius, and yeah, go, Silius, and all that kind of stuff. That's still going on through this whole exchange, but we're just going to focus on sort of the meat of this right now. So Varro goes on to say that if he can't prove that Silius was a traitor and guilty of extortion, then Varro will endure the punishments that he's seeking out against Silius right now. So like if he's looking for a death sentence, he's like, if I can't prove that he's a traitor, then I'll take the death sentence and you can have me killed. And Silius turns to Tiberius and he's like, this is ridiculous. This man shouldn't be accusing me and judging me at the same time. This makes no sense. Can we please have this case thrown out until he's no longer a counselor in the Senate? And Tiberius is like, you know what? It's kind of standard protocol what's going on here. Like they're doing all the stuff that they're supposed to. So, I'll allow the trial to continue. And Silius sort of threatens Tiberius at this point. He's like, you don't know what you're talking about. And Tiberius is like, careful what you say there. And Afer's like, let's get on with this trial and he will get justice. And Silius is like, I would rather have law than justice. And he starts going off on Afer and kind of the whole rest of the Senate about how poorly they're treating him and how badly they're handling this whole situation. And it occurs to him, he can see through this whole scam that they're running, and he has an idea of who it is that's behind all of this and who it is that's setting him up in this whole thing. And Varro stands up and calls him an enemy of the state, and Silius is like, I'm only an enemy of the state because I'm your enemy, right? Like if you weren't part of the state, I wouldn't have done anything wrong sort of a deal. And Sejanus stands up and he's like, this is insolent behavior and impious behavior. And Stilius is going to have a monologue sort of in his defense, sort of against them, combo platter of the two, but we will get to hear all about that in tomorrow's video. So I'll see you then.